Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Leon Marble here. So, just going to give my thoughts about a lot of things that are kind of circulating around Resident Evil 3, one of my other franchises that I love, and all the complaints that people are having about it. All right, and then how excited I am about the game. I'm very excited. So, just in general, people are complaining a lot about the fact that the game is going to be shifting content. I'll put it like that, shifting content, because I don't think it's loss of content. Especially the biggest one people are saying is going to affect replayability. All right, so Resident Evil 2 that recently came out has two sides. You have Leon and Claire, and basically they play out the same for the most part. They have small deviations, different characters in between them. You know, it's not too much plot difference. I mean, to me, I thought that it all could be one conducive plot and kind of spread out. You know, maybe shifting back and forth. That would have been interesting. Probably not faithful to the franchise, definitely. But I would have been cool with it, is the point. Like, it wouldn't have been terrible. It would have been different. And I would have been like, oh man, the original Resident Evil 2 is way better because it has 2 discs, and it's full of content. But one side is canon and one's not. So really, it's kind of like, and then the way they handled it in 2, they didn't make it so that they kind of, you know, it wasn't like truly from the other person's perspective. There was time differences. It was just really kind of a mess a little bit, and not really what I was looking for. So, that being said, then you have 3 come out. I would rather them give me one conducive story based on how, I don't know, just like the 2-bit era, the not 2-bit, the 2D era. I don't go that far back. It has more like love put towards the content of some of these games. So I don't know. It just feels like when we go now to the 3D realm and, you know, all the way these games kind of go, it really is kind of a, you know, a toss away a little bit, you know. So it's not going to ever be as good, and you know, hopefully Final Fantasy changes that. I have not, to be honest with you, I'm old school. I have not played a game that really has been chock full of content except for The Witcher. You know what I'm saying? Like, that game reminds me of like the PS2 games where you could find, there's people still finding stuff in PS2 games now, like secrets, lore, hidden stuff that the programmers put in. Like, you don't see that usually in some of the newer games. They just give you the content that you want so you can give them the money. So, and I get that. I get that's why Resident Evil 3 is here, and that's why Resident Evil 3 existed, the original. It was rushed. It was kind of like a copy-paste. But it was a good copy-paste. It had the same formula that worked. It gave you a new mechanic. It lets you be able to dodge stuff, and you know, it was just updated Resident Evil 2 and more action oriented. You know, and it was what fans kind of wanted a little bit. We wanted the original Resident Evil style, but it was getting a little stale. So, and then they were screwing up a couple of spin-offs too. So, yeah, I feel like it's the same. You know, it's like now we're getting a little bit of more of what we like, Resident Evil 2. We're going to get a new mechanic in the game. Joe's going to be able to dodge. We already saw that in the trailer, which is awesome. You know, it's going to be great for speedrunners. I mean, people got to realize that these games, like short games where beginning and end, makes it a jewel for a speedrunner, because, you know, it's straightforward. You can plot it out. You can, you know, find hacks, things like that. It's just fun that way. This is kind of that's what it is. Now, the online portion, that's where my kind of concern is, because it looks a little lackluster, and I'm so glad that it wasn't a standalone game. With it being a plug-in to, you know, Resident Evil 3, it's the best thing that could have happened. I don't know if that was the original intent, but it was, again, they call it CapGod. I don't believe in CapGod. But Capcom is back on track with good decision making. I don't know if they had like a structural change or whatever, but that was brilliant. The way they did it. It was like, yeah, I knew this was kind of sort of coming, but not really. I mean, it was like a bit of a surprise. So that's my thought on it. I would want more content. Now, that's why I said shifting content, because, you know, everything in Resident Evil 3 is going to be there one way or another, or should be, I should say. You know, the Mercenaries mode is gone, but we have this online version that could potentially have Mercenaries DLC. That's what I anticipated being. I was just like a little bit of lifespan. That's really what killed the Resident Evil Outbreak series. They did not have the support. It was before its time. But if it did, if it was like Monster Hunter, like the way Monster Hunter gives its content out for the newest game is crazy. Like, it's a whole game. Like, it's fully supported. Like, if you fully support that online mode, upgrade the graphic, you got time, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the thing, like, with most of these games, once you get the content out and people like the base structure of the content, then it's worthwhile. Then it's like, all right, cool. I could wait for an update. I could wait for, you know, a new content, you know, new items, a new shop, you know, you can buy skins. I would be totally into that. Like, that's what Capcom has been trying so hard with so many different types of games that have been trashed so far. But this game is built off of the RE2 engine, so it's way better graphics. It's a way better dedicated team. I think it's going to be the potential now, if Capcom allows the team, this third-party people, to continue to have their assets, continue to have their support. I really see like this is going to be dope. You know, I really feel like this is going to be a good opportunity to expand the lore, pave the way for Resident Evil 8, and people can have something to play outside of Resident Evil. Just imagine, right? We're playing the Resident Evil Survivors, right? The new DLC that's going to basically, I don't know, the new Survivors, they gear up. They're part of like the squad that was with Chris, right? And then they investigate this. They're like, you follow them from being little scrubby people that was in the city to, they don't have anything left to live for, but to be mercenaries, or to be, you know, these forces that stop biohazards. And that would be just so cool. And then we could get people from, you know, Resident Evil 5 getting in there. You know, it could be all kinds of people. But just imagine, like, if it sounds really excited right now. Imagine if, like, you go on this mission, this secret DLC, right? And then they were like, yeah, so you guys got to investigate this mansion. And that could be a throwback. And then it could be, like, they could investigate, you know, and find out that this is, like, the precursor to Resident Evil 8 right there in it, you know? Like, things like that. Just, like, uncovering mysteries within the online community. They could fill in the gaps. Because the thing that fell apart with Resident Evil to me was that it stopped being a contained kind of thing. It went to a global kind of thing. Like, oh, now these biohazards are a global threat. You know, it was always kind of like, we're going to get Umbrella. And then Umbrella was wiped out, and it was like, okay, now there's this company, now there's that thing, and now we go into the FBI. Now everybody knows about it. I like that it was kind of under the cover a little bit. And I would like for them, for the next couple of games, to keep it that way and slowly let things leak out and slowly kind of retcon a lot of the things that went wrong with the Resident Evil series and truly reboot it into a thing where it's this world that's becoming more and more desolate and destroyed, and, you know, this is how zombie apocalypse happens, you know, and not just like an all of a sudden thing, you know? That would be cool. Like, the movies kind of do that. It's trash, I know. But I kind of like following the history of things, kind of going from bad to worse, and you get a little bit of hope here, and then, you know, like Walking Dead, basically. But yeah, I really think there's hope in Resident Evil.
1 2 0 2 2.
All right, let me know what you
6
think.
5.
Like, favorite, subscribe, hit the bell. Calm said hit the bell. You know what she said. Do it. So you guys get the notifications. Let me know what you think about Resident Evil 3. Let me know what you think about the online, and, you know, let's talk about it. Let's debate about it. All right, guys. Talk to you soon. Later.